Hey guys, welcome back, especially to the fans of the Batchackman, the Peacemaker Wars series. And we're back at it again. We have episode 3 this time around, and I think this one is going to be my personal favorite so far. Yes, we're only 3 episodes in, but this one was my definitely my favorite of the bunch so far. So let's get right into it, and I won't bother with a previously on, and I'll just get right into it where we know Batchackman has been looking for an object called the Eye, and of course, he's been tasked with finding it, protecting it, because there are people out there that want to use it for nefarious means. And we start off by seeing a little bit more and learning a little bit more about the Peacemakers. Specifically, the character played by Gillian Ferguson of Diana Winston. And this character, she's like the Amanda Waller of this universe. And I think she's being so... I love the portrayal of this character because she's definitely this no-nonsense type. She has a goal. She has a plan. And the best villains are always the ones that think that what they're doing is in service of the world. So it kind of, in their mind, it excuses them of all the horrible things that they have to do to get what they want. And one of those horrible things being that, as we've learned, those girls were experimented on, kind of like Black Widow and what do you call those? We call them the sparrows or whatever. But yeah, experimented on to become faster, stronger. Some of them have abilities which I'll get to. And we see Amina, played by Aaliyah Watley, is kind of standing up for herself, and she's like, oh, you sacrificed us for what you wanted. You didn't care that most of these girls don't survive. This is a character who I've said before, she is a silent but deadly type, and so it was really refreshing to see her get some more dialogue, get to see her act and emote, and that sort of things. And I was impressed, and I want to see more of that from her. I hope she gets to do more scenes like that. So there was a strong opening scene. We get this silly man in his red glasses. I like to call him Mr. Smiley. Trying to remember the character's name. I think it's Maharaj Shankar or something like that. Maharaj Shiraz or something like that. You can tell that actor is just having a blast with the role, and he has this thing where he's constantly smiling, and it can get quite creepy, especially when he stops smiling. I think it works well in that respect. You think of him as he's silly, he's overblown as a character, and then there's this moment where he just kind of stops smiling, and you get the feeling that this is a character that you never want him to stop smiling. You know what I mean? So it was nice to see him back again. I think we saw him in episode 1. We saw him back here, and we move forward, and we get a lot more of those gorgeous visuals that I keep talking about. And I think Keon Byron does such a beautiful job of utilizing these locations we have here in Trinidad. We're a small island, but we have a lot of beauty, a lot of fauna and flora, that sort of thing. And he really knows how to get there and just use those beautiful shots. And I mean, like the character being a character he came up with this character, but it's like a whole folklore based thing. He utilizes a lot of our forestry, so to speak. We don't have large forests in Trinidad, but he utilizes that stuff really well. We get a lovely shot of there's this place in Macreep that you can see this old satellite station, and he uses this, and it's one very long, it's not one long take, but it's one long shot. And I didn't even realize how big that building is. I've been there and I had no clue, and I thought it fits so well. The sound design, the score, everything is just, like I said, these are some of my favorite moments in these shows, in this series so far, is that I don't need the dialogue. I just love watching these visuals. But of course, it takes us into him finding the Eye and ultimately being attacked by Maharaj and number 17, Amina. And we get a cool fight sequence here. We get to see her go up against him, and it's not a long sequence, but I will say this episode is one of the more action oriented episodes we get. And I think that's what I was feeding off of. The energy is definitely amped up all the way through this episode. We get more story. We get a little bit more on the Peacemakers. We get a little bit more on the eye. We get even the introduction of a couple of characters and some background on a villain, which I'll get to. We get a lot here, and I'm really impressed by how much we got in that 20-minute span, and yet we were able to also get these fluid action sequences and that brought in these characters, and we got a couple nice fight scenes and shootout scenes. And yeah, the energy here, I just felt like it was ramped up. Not that it hasn't been a nice ride so far, but I felt like they kicked it in gear in this third episode, and as you guys can tell, I really enjoyed it. We also get some background on a character, Blood Poison, and for those who don't know, I'll throw up an image of him. Very cool looking character, very reminiscent of Black Mask from the DC Comics, and we get some background on Blood Poison and why he wears that mask. It's a pretty cool, pretty cool story right there, origin story. And we also get a shot of our own local Hall of Justice. And as a kid, guys, you're a kid, you're stupid. Kids are stupid. I used to think that Hall of Justice was like the Hall of Justice in DC Comics. So it was kind of cool for me to be kind of validated here to see our, by the way, it's a courthouse, guys. For those who may not know, it's a major courthouse in Port of Spain. But yeah, I thought it was like where Superman and them would hang out. I'm sorry, I was like 7 years old. I was a dumbass. But yeah, it was cool to see it utilized in this fashion, because this is a world of superheroes. So come on, Hall of Justice. And yeah, it plays into that scene with Blood Poison. We do see, like I said, we get some background on him. We get an idea of his motivations of why he hates the Batchackman, and that pulls us forward a little bit to the Batchackman trying to protect the eye, and he goes up against more of the Peacemakers. I won't give more detail than that, and it takes us into our credits, where we get a post-credit sequence that introduces us to a character I believe called Sukuya. And for my foreign friends who may not know, a Sukuya is our version of a vampire. Usually female, and she takes the form of a fireball, comes into your house at night, yada yada yada, does vampire stuff. It's more about feeding. I don't think it's so much about feeding off of blood, feeding off of like life energy. Might be wrong on that part, but I think our own is more of an energy vampire. So this character, very cool look, kind of blinded off, doesn't need to see, I guess, the way we need to see, and we get some special effects there. It all works really well, and it all keeps it builds my excitement for what's to come. As I said before, this has been my favorite episode thus far, and I think I'm getting what I wanted. I'm getting that a little bit more of what's going on in this world. As somebody who is not familiar with the Batchackman movie, I have to find time to rectify that. I just really, like these little pieces falling into place. I feel like it's being really well done. Budget restrictions and time constraints. I feel like we are getting enough information here to build a bigger picture. It's like I have a puzzle before me, and I have some of the pieces in place, and every week I'm getting some more pieces, and everything is starting to fall into place. I'm getting a clearer idea of what the Peacemaker Wars is going to be about, and who these characters are, what their motivations are. I feel like everybody's giving it their best, they're giving it their all, they're having fun, which is most important. And I am very, very psyched to see where this goes. So far, my favorite episode. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I had a blast with this one. And that's it for Batchackman episode 3. So if you've seen it, let me know where it stands in the 3 episodes thus far, and how you're feeling about this series, if you're enjoying it, and if you're looking forward to see where it goes. That's going to be it for this one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's always appreciated. If you're new and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face when it pops up right about there, and you can check out past episode reviews and movie reviews right along this way. So until the next one, guys. Bye bye.